Hey, everybody in YouTube, this is Freddie Bump, David Bump, Frederick Bump, doesn't matter. Call me either or. My parents gave me an awkward name. I don't mind it. I hope you don't mind it. I know there's going to be haters. Rocking the MK hat today. I know, I had to rock it. But anyway, so I'm going to go over this thing in detail, man, really quickly because my last video is really long and I didn't cover certain things that I think are super important. Just little details, like the first thing I want to point out here real quick. Well, let me zoom in. No, it won't. Anyway, just little cutouts like this right here for your exhaust, so you're not hooking up there. What I did to my hood, personally, what I think is the best is putting a hole right here and following that line so it still looks nice right here. You don't want to cut, you don't want to cut that out right here. But as you can see, it goes straight back to the engine. I go from the front to the back, as you can see right there. And also, you get some air from under the wheel wells a little bit, but not much when you're going like this. It's mainly just your right here is where your airflow is going to come from. And so that's a must. The next thing I did to my body, which I didn't cover, I don't believe I covered any of this. First of all, the stock body for on this thing, props to Traxxas, man. I think this body is awesome, You just you can paint it whatever color you want with the graphics on it. I should have put the safety things, the circular safety things. It's not too bad, but it does preserve the life of the body. One thing I did, obviously, for the fuel tank, you guys already know, I'll show it to you again for those who don't know. I have a custom fuel tank in here from a Mugen Truggy. That's a 150cc tank. And so I had to Dremel out some areas here to make it work. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's it for the body. Oh, actually, it's not. Everybody should do this. This right here. This right here I use to tune the low-speed needle if ever I have to. And another thing is, actually, of course, my fuel line's in the way, or my pressure line's in the way there. Right here, like above the engine, see how I left room for a high-speed needle? So you don't have to keep taking your hood on and off. The other videos I made, I left the hood off in case I had to make some quick adjustments and didn't feel like fiddling around, just so you guys know. I wish I could have ran with the body before. Alright, so body is off. Awesome body. I made a mistake in the video when I said this was a steering servo. This is a throttle servo right here, guys. Obviously, anybody in the RC industry knows that. It is a 5645 MG, which does very well for it as long as you have a lipo. And in my last video, I also said that this wasn't the greatest ever. Actually, what it was, there was space for 2 servos, I believe. And or the plastic came out so far you wouldn't be able to put anything here, so I had to Dremel that out in order to fit this flashpoint lipo in here that you guys can see. And obviously lipo performs much better. This is the fuel tank I was telling you guys about. Actually wiggles. It has grommets and it has a nice seal. When I press on it, it doesn't really do anything. Obviously some J concepts. I prefer grids or the sweep square armors that they don't make anymore. I love small pin tires or dirt bike tread style tires for bashing. The drive chain on this thing is very well maintained. In fact, the front end was completely rebuilt. I actually did crash it and I completely rebuilt the front end. You can see the differential down there is, yeah, you might not be able to see it. In fact, I wish I had a light here. In fact, I do. Right down there, you can tell that's all new right there. The entire front end, front diff is new, and I serviced the rest of it. Yep. Alright, so what else here? So yeah, so I mean, obviously it's got a wheelie bar, the diffs. Let's see. Did I take any notes here? Get rid of slop. Get rid of slop. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to show you guys that's very important that I did to mine. I made a mistake also in my skid plate. I misspoke anyways. Get my flashlight out again. So they have a servo saver down here, right? Right there. Right there. See it with the blue? That's a servo. That's a servo. Now they have a servo saver, and I go straight with the metal just so that way there's less slop, and I just tighten that sucker right up, man. You know, and just to get the least amount of slop possible. As always, plush, as you know. I wish I had a wrench on me. In fact, I don't. I wanted to take a wheel off. One trick I wanted to show you guys is, you know how in these Maxes and Revos, how these wheels get wiggly because the pillow ball retainer loosens up over time. Loctite doesn't work, and if you glue it, then you'll never be able to get it off again. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you guys, or maybe not, but what I am going to do is drill a very tiny hole where the pillow ball retainer goes. Get it just right, and then put a very tiny screw in, like a set screw for a sway bar, in to lock the retainer in, so that way the pillow ball can't back out and you don't get any more wiggle. I would recommend the not only the skid plate that I have on here, but also what was I just gonna recommend? I feel like a dummy now. Big dummy moment. So anyway, yesterday I misspoke saying that, you know, say this was the, you know, back and this is the front and then this is the front. No. Like, obviously, let's pretend like this is the back, even though this is the back. So if this was the back and you're driving forwards, you know, the dirt's going to be coming in. People, you already know this. You don't want that. So that's what that's for. And this does go either way, by the way. In fact, you probably could modify. You could probably cut one in half right here and then add one just like that. I could be wrong, but maybe. Another good upgrade for these is the get the light off there where my finger is. These A-arms, you can get them locked so that way you don't have to have a tie rod and you're way less prone to breaking. Put this car around here. I mean, this thing uses the wheelie bar a lot. I could tell you that right now. Obviously, I've got the ceramic bearing, Boca bearing in here, brand new piston sleeve, $100 OS slide carb, Revo air filter, maybe it's a tmaxx filter, THS exhaust system, 2-chamber, meant for high-end and fuel savings, plush suspension. And also, a lot of people might be wondering why, when you look straight at the vehicle, how it looks like the two front wheels are like, see, when you make one straight, the other one's crooked. Off-road vehicles should be that way. In fact, on-road vehicles sometimes even run that way. What it does, it does a number of things. Some things I might not even be aware of, but what I am aware of is the fact that when you have smaller links and you're able to do this, you actually get number one, it makes your car more stable. That's a fact. Your car, it's easier to drive and it's more stable. When your front toe, like it is right now, is out, it's more stable. But when your front toe is in, it's gonna make it more zippy, more responsive, and you're not gonna want that. You can get that if you want zippy and that you can get that elsewhere in a vehicle by tuning it somewhere else other than the front toe. Um, what else did I want to talk about? I mean, just make sure everything is good and clean and tight. You know, don't half-ass building one of these things. Wheel adapters are very nice for these. I mean, race wheels are nice, but you know, when you get those half inch offset wheels, it really makes them handle very well. I think that is about it, besides the blue tie rods that I showed you guys by RPM. Right there, the blue tie rods. See that? I'm gonna put that on the rear too, but just the front for now, so that way it's less likely to pull out. I've never had a rear one pull out. In a Revo I have, but not on this yet. Maybe I have on this, but I'm definitely going to be getting the locked rear, so that way there's no adjustability. It's just locked at 1 degree toe, I believe. Yeah, man, this thing is phenomenal. You're looking, it would cost you 3 times as much money to get a vehicle like this, no joke, because retail $500 plus the work I put into it and the time. I mean, well, time is money. I mean, even if you disclude my time, the amount of money that I've put into this, the piston sleeve and everything I just went over is well over $300. And so I mean, you'd be well over your head if you tried buying a tmaxx like this. Sorry guys, I should have got it closer to you so you can see it. I did make my fuel line as short as possible. Usually I make it longer for racing, for more fuel, essentially for a bigger fuel tank. But since I have a big fuel tank, I don't need it. And so I get direct pressure right to my carburetor. The only long one here I've got is from the exhaust, and I run it through the pin on the air filter, and then run it right there. You know, bing, bing, boom. That's it. Hope you guys loved this video as much as I did. Actually, I kind of hated it because I kind of suck at videos right now. But I'm trying to reach out to as many people as I can to get this sport growing, man. I gotta get a video of this thing running. I really do. I'm gonna get a video of this thing running for you guys, alright? I promise you I will get a video of this thing running for you. And I think you're gonna like it because I'm gonna put a different set of tires on it. I'm just representing the hat here. But I will get you guys some footage of some gnarly stuff. Let you hear my tune. I'm a tune master. I hate saying that, but I'm one with the engine. I know exactly what it needs when it needs it. I keep it where it should be, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. All right. Freddie Bump here. As always, peace out.